this video we designed the next League of Legends champion from scratch. Today we follow up with the promised character from last week's video where I designed Tugnor the Seeker's Fist. So let's dive right in. As stated in the last video, we will create the assassin who works together with the Mageseekers. If you want to get a rundown on the Mageseekers and who they are and how they developed, check my last video where I go and explain more about them. Just know that they go through society, they take people with magical abilities to officially exile them, but a lot of them are finally placed in prisons, and in some cases they even get experimented upon. Really crazy stuff. Eventually, after the Mageseeker events, the order was dissolved by Jarvan IV. Similar to our beautiful Tin Can Man, I started the design process with lots of different ideas. My first thought was to create a mid-laner. Someone who would be able to fulfill the more classic Mageseeker idea. But it was really hard to not enter difficult territory that was already occupied. I thought about mechs again, real sorcerers. Some were simply too close to already existing designs. Some felt less dramatic. Some felt less Demacian and looked more Piltover because of weapon choices. Augmented felt more Shuriman or Zornite to me, but I like the idea of an experiment. This is why I combined the power hand with an unnamed design. Every good or rather bad cause needs a scalpel, someone to get rid of the biggest headaches, to let the hero shine. This is the story of Linden. Linden was the name of a child you could hear cried out in annoyance or contempt in surprisingly repeating cadence. As a child, Linden loved to annoy and prank his peers. But it did not end in harmless fun. Linden enjoyed to pick on people. The bigger and stronger, the better. This might have ended with him being beaten and expelled, but not Linden. He was clever and cunning. His face towards his superiors always friendly and respectful. Linden enjoyed the university of politics and found himself in a situation that did not suit him at all. Lingering in the political system of Demacia was nothing that pleased him. Too much theater, too few schemes, and this should say something. And so the top student went to the Mageseekers, an order which accepted all kind of people. And there he thrived. Linden quickly found his way to the laboratories and dungeons. And for a man as curious as he was, he witnessed cruel and dangerous experiments. He saw the mutated subjects slowly losing their minds, and more often than not, a smile twisted his lips. As the time passed, the mutation's success rates improved, and one day not one more subject lay on the table, but Linden himself. And in the dark, he became something more. During the day, he did his duties, but at night he was sent to deal with highly dangerous targets. Not always mages. He had enjoyed his life in university, but this was bliss. The thrill of stalking, deceiving, everything he had enjoyed when he was young. Maybe this was the reason he never really lost himself, never became a beast, like so many other subjects. During his missions he met a man named Tugnor, a dangerous man who would have loved to kill him. Linden knew it. But just like with everything dangerous, Linden was drawn to it. He opened the cells in the night for the self-righteous man, helped him cover his tracks. No one complained if there was one more body for the experiments. And as the day of the dissolvement came, he went to the laboratories, ready to take his things and leave. On his way out, he found himself face to face with Tugnor, who was heading into the same direction. During the creation process, as you've probably seen, I inverted the colors of Demacia to create the tones for Linden's mutated arm. This is very visual storytelling that says, look how twisted this is from being real Demacian values. Also, the golden ring around the arm is supposed to hold back the mutation and magics. It is able to open and close in order for Linden to access more power. I made sure that his arm is not always on display, and mostly hidden under his cape. With champions like Cain and Renata, I thought it would be too much if we simply get another champion whose silhouette is dominated by a mutated or special arm. Also, it helps to sell his role as a special agent who conceals his real weapon. Linden's dagger is Demacian steel, which is unstable. This makes it able to absorb a lot of magic, but only for a short period of time, after which it empowers his next attack. Linden's passive is Tortured Patricide. Linden's abilities build up stacks to empower his next auto attack. This attack deals magic damage. The effect scales with lethality in AD, but also with AP. Per ability, Linden gets 2 stacks and needs 4. For this auto attack, Linden's percentage armor pen and lethality get converted to percentage magic pen and flat magic pen. To make sure that Linden's time to kill against an opponent is not too short, he has to hit his abilities first to activate his whole kit. Also, his magic damage should allow him to be effective against armor stackers. Linden's Q is Effortless Cruelty. Linden dashes into a direction, dealing physical damage. This is the bread and butter spell. Linden has no way to defend himself, so this is similar to Vayne or Kane, a spell to dodge away from incoming skill shots. The dash is not long, something like Kane Q or Fiora Q. Linden's W is Ruthless Pursuit. Linden dashes into a direction. He can reactivate his ability, but only towards an enemy. His ability can be combined with Effortless Cruelty. Linden's W rewards him for offensive plays. He cannot dash towards the tower twice and has to pick when he uses his ability, because once committed towards a fight he has no exit. Also, yes, it's a shameless effect theft from edgerunners. Linden's E is a skill shot that cancels channels and slows the target by 90% for 1 second. I didn't want Linden to have a true silence. It would be impossible for his targets to strike back or escape. Linden's R is Twisted Impale. Passive. Every champion damaged by Linden's ability gets marked for 7 seconds. Linden throws his knife towards an enemy, dealing flat damage. Afterwards he casts Hespeth's Present. With his mutated hand, Linden lashes at every marked enemy, dealing percentage missing health damage, dealing extra magic damage to champions hit by Twisted Impale. This ability clears all marks. If his ability kills the marked target, a part of the cooldown gets refunded. This ability allows Linden to kill his priority target, although he still has to use his normal kit to deal the damage. The main part of the ability is his recast. This makes him similar to Zed, who also has to use his basic abilities to get the target to a lethal threshold. Also, making R missable makes using the ability during combat more powerful, as he has already closed the space and is close to his target. Linden has no 300 dashes. This is why I also wanted to make him capable in teamfights. He has no escape like Kha'Zix's Evolved E or Akali Shroud. This makes him closer to someone like Naafiri or Talon. Eventually, I also did a Splashart for Linden. In the painting, Linden is shown at the high tower in this city Tugnor will later burn. He went up there and took out the primary target. That way Tugnor and his men could enter the city without much defense. And with this, I gladly present to you the 2 Mageseeker champions. I hope you had as much fun with the watching process as I had making them. Now tell me how you would have designed them, what you like, what you dislike, and most importantly, which new champion or redesign you need to see next. I want to thank you all so much for the great feedback on the last video. It was so beautiful to read all the amazing messages and ideas how to improve him, how he's part of some people's headcanon. I'm very much hoping that you like this one as well, even if he has 2 dashes. The next video will be about another top pick from my survey. I can't say too much, but it will be freaking gold. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or you will get it cold too, just like I have. This was Arthis, and I'll see you in the next video.